It's the 7th of May and finally my patience is being rewarded. Well, my impatience isn't being punished is another way of looking at it. We are getting the gorgeous wisteria flowers. The very first one is fully out now, well, almost fully out, and the scent is wonderful, which is extra bonus. But I think you can see it's going to look beautiful in just a few more weeks' time. It's the 9th of May today. I'll just give you a little spin. I can tell you that the scent on this is really rather nice. As you can see, the rest of the flowers are all beginning to shoot now. I have put a piece of wire just to bend this branch down a little, but you do need to be very careful with wisteria because they are very brittle. But I also want to just put a little piece of wire on here, if and I can, without snapping the flower off, very loosely, just to try and bring these two flower buds away from one another. That's better. Hopefully that will now continue to open in that direction, and then maybe I can persuade this one to open in this direction without snapping that flower off. How well can you see that? It's a very temporary fix just to persuade this flower to go that away. It's Sunday the 15th of May and wow, the tree's almost at peak. I guess it'll never be entirely peak flower because this one, the first one to open, is almost entirely over now, and this one's only halfway out, etc. But particularly from this view at the front, it's looking quite splendiferous, even if I do say so myself. My other flowering wisteria, the big white one, is about to come into flower as well, so something to look forward to. It's the 17th of May now, and the tree is pretty much fully out in blossom now. I'm just going to remove a couple of leaves that are hiding these blossoms here, and the wire I put on and the weight has managed to keep these flowers separate, making it look rather attractive, even if I do say so myself. It's going to have to do a lot of growing this year. I'd like to see the trunk expand some more, but all in all, for a couple of years work, I am really pleased with it. There is a playlist for this tree. You can check it out. That pigeon nearly took my hat off, and now I've lost my train of thought. Oh yes, there is a playlist which I will link for this wisteria, and you'll see it was a relatively skinny thing that I put in, and it didn't flower well for me last year. In fact, it didn't flower until June, and then only, I think I had one, maybe two flowers on it. So I have to say I'm really happy, and I think I've probably said that in this video a couple of times. Fortunately, I managed to rescue some of the footage, and some of what I rescued does show some of the transition on this tree. So it's probably not a very long video, not as long as I imagined it was going to be, but I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. Okay, so here we are, it's the end of May, the 29th to be exact, and the tree is definitely over as far as flowers are concerned, and I don't want it to set seed. I don't want to you know, the tree to waste valuable energy setting seed, so now's the time. I'm going to deadhead it and remove all these flowers that would have gone to seed, and as they say, that's just energy that I don't want the tree to use. I want the tree to use it for some growth. I want to fatten up this trunk some more, which is a nice, you know, fairly nice size, but would like it a bit chunkier. I want to extend some of these branches a little, and as you can see back here, the tree has already decided that it's going to throw out some nice long new growths for me that can then be chopped back. Now, all the books on pruning wisteria will tell you that you should allow it to grow until August and or July, August, and then cut it back and then prune it again in the spring. But last year with this one I followed a tip from a guy that I follow on Twitter called Ken. If you're watching, you did me proud with your tip on how you keep your standard wisteria amethystivals in good flower by regularly trimming, and I did the same with this one. I had the best flowering year yet, so I'm actually going to cut this branch back where it's just coming out of the, there's another flower to deadhead, where it's just coming out of the shape of the canopy that I want, and hopefully then it'll backbud and throw me out lots more branches, which can then be pruned in the February and give me even more flower next year. Okay, so I'm going to finish this video off with a quick look at my tall, very tall, white Japanese Floribunda longissima Alma, which is coming into flower now and putting out these wonderful white flowers that this one starts up here and at the moment is finishing here, but they tend to elongate, and the flowers, I'm told, on this particular species can be as much as 18 inches long, which is 45 centimeters, I believe, hence the tree being very tall and difficult to get in shot all in one go. Okay, so starting at the base, well, you've got a reasonable root spread, a little bit of an issue with a crossing root there, but very little I can do with that at this point in the tree's life. I think that was how it was, that's how it came. This is the most expensive tree I bought for bonsai. I spent £35 on this particular tree, which was reduced from 110 out of season at a local small nursery, and if we phase up the trunk, you can see it's got some lovely movement, particularly up here, and I want to build this side of the trunk this, or the crown this year, to make it even more fuller. Let's see if I can take you up. I've got the camera on the highest point of the tripod, extended up as high as it will go to get this shot on this bench. But there you go. Hopefully the sun's not washing it out too much. It's a glorious day and we shouldn't complain. but these flowers are really quite spectacular and have a lovely scent to boot. So let's give you a quick 360 of the crown as is. As you can see, flowers aplenty this year. Again, I did the cut every time the branches hit 4 to 5 leaves, and then pruned right to 2, rather than waiting until the August and then cutting it back hard. And that achieved quite a bit of ramification up here, and hopefully we'll get the same this year. For those of you that have missed him of late, there's Cooper having a little wander around, trying not to be in the way of the camera too much. Still the camera shy collie, but at the same time trying to suggest that isn't it about time we went and played ball? Ready? Nice catch! So there you have it. That's enough for this one. We'll call it a day here. Thank you so much for watching. It really is truly appreciated. Do the YouTube thing, the liking, the subscribing, the commenting. Let me know what you think about whether I should be chopping it back regularly through the season, or whether I should leave it until the July, August, as the books say. Otherwise, please stay safe, everybody.